Pepe Prado Flores asked all of us as national directors to make a contribution to a project that he called being accomplice of hope, being a partner with the Lord to give hope to others in this time of the coronavirus pandemic. So my name is Father Stéphane Pouliot, and I'm the National Director of the St. Andrew School of Evangelization in Canada. I derive a great benefit from listening to a talk very recently by Katie Prejean-McGrady as part of the Be Not Afraid conference, in which she basically reflected on the story of Jesus who delivers, casts out demons away from a man who was living in the country of the Gerasenes. It's really interesting when we compare the story in Matthew, in the Gospel of Matthew, in the Gospel of Mark, and the Gospel of Luke. I'm going to draw some benefits from both passages. In the Gospel of Luke, it says that when Jesus stepped on land, arriving in the country of the Gerasenes, in Luke chapter 8, verse 27, that a man of the city who had demons met him. A man of the city. And so this was a man who was living in a city nearby, but in the Gospel of Mark, we hear that Jesus met this man in the cemetery, right? So that he was living among the tombs, that no one could restrain him. Very likely, the people in the nearby city had confined him to that place, had tried to even chain him, as it actually says that he had often been restrained, verse 4, with shackles and chains in Mark chapter 5. This man was not in possession of himself. He was living in the constant grip of demons, constantly being wild with fear, wild with hatred, wild with unrestrained energy that basically didn't allow him to ever be himself. And so this man was profoundly troubled. And maybe in this time of the coronavirus pandemic, we too are profoundly troubled by what is happening to us. The good news is that Jesus is coming to meet us. He is going to great land to come on the other side of the lake, on the other side of this experience. He comes from heaven to us right at this very hour to give us relief. And when he actually cast out the demons from this man who had a legion of them, meaning 10,000, he actually restored him to himself. The man was naked, the gospel says. The man actually was not in his right mind. But when the man of the town came to actually take a look at what had just happened, they had heard reports by the swineherds, the gospel tells us. They actually checked out what was happening, and they saw that the man was now clothed instead of naked and in his right mind. What would have been very easy at that point was for Jesus to let him follow him, and that's what the man asked. But instead, he was asked to get out of the comfort zone which he had just reached just now, and actually go out to tell everybody what God had done for him. And so in this hour, when we are confined to our own homes, we too are being asked to get out of our comfort zone. While confined in our homes, we are invited to go out and to bring hope. Not go out physically to enter other people's homes, but to go out, for example, using the social media to basically enter into new territories where we can tell everybody what God has done for us. God is asking you at this very hour to do this, to make a phone call, to find a way to help a neighbor, to tell that neighbor when that neighbor confides in you, how important it is that you have found Jesus and what Jesus has done for you.